But we begin with the latest from the state capitol, day one of the impeachment trial of suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Here's a live look from the state Senate floor as witness testimony gets underway. Both sides wrapped up their opening statements just over an hour ago. Good afternoon to you. I'm Marcelino Benito.
And I'm Sherman Chow. We have team coverage of the impeachment trial both here in studio and in Austin.
Adam Bennett and Len Cannon are live right now inside the state capitol building. Let's go to Len Cannon now. Len, a lot of big moments on day one.
A lot of big moments indeed, Marcelino and Sherman. First order of business, the 30 senators voted on whether to dismiss any or all of the articles of impeachment against Ken Paxton. They voted overwhelmingly to keep all 16 articles that Ken Paxton is facing. And by the way, that vote wasn't even close. It was nearly 2/3 of the body, which is mostly Republican. Then came the opening statements from prosecutors. First, in the first half hour, and only for about 25 minutes, Andrew Murr for prosecutors calling Paxton's actions over the years, quote, a creeping corruption. He was followed by Tony Buzbee for the defense. With an impassioned argument, he said the whole investigation was, quote, a rush to judgment, and claiming there's nothing there that warrants an impeachment. Our Adam Bennett has been inside the chambers overlooking everything today since early this morning. Adam, what did you see?
Well, Lynn, that chamber has remained more or less half full for most of the day. Of course, a lot of media from all over the country here, but also many supporters for Paxton. Many of them are wearing red. At a couple points, we saw both Paxton and his wife, Senator Angela Paxton, turning around and waving at supporters. A number of them were lined up outside the Capitol before the doors opened, before the sun even came up. Of course, once the trial got going, you mentioned that key vote where the senators voted not to dismiss any of those articles of impeachment. That's when the trial really got going. Paxton's lawyers entered not guilty pleas on behalf of their client to all 16 articles of impeachment that are up for consideration during this trial. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick then swore in the witnesses. After a lunch break, opening statements began without Paxton present. He was there during the morning, but not in the afternoon. Representative Andrew Murr is the Republican leading the House prosecution team. He said Paxton put the interests of a friend and donor named Nate Paul ahead of the duties of the AG's office. But Paxton's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, spoke for the defense. Buzbee says he has the evidence to prove those accusations and accusations of bribery are false.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
That there is nothing to this. Ken Paxton gave nothing of significance to Nate Paul. Nate Paul received nothing of significance from Ken Paxton. This whole case is a whole lot of nothing.
Today, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick also ruled that Paxton cannot be compelled to testify during this trial. Paxton also clarified each side will have 24 hours to present their evidence, and that includes all witness questioning and cross-examination. Within the last hour, we saw the first witness called during this trial by the prosecution. That was a former member of the AG's office who were told is one of the whistleblowers who first raised issues of the allegations against Paxton to authorities. We'll have much more coming up at 5. Len?
Thank you. We're getting reports. You heard Adam talking about witnesses today. There could be as many as 100 witnesses called in this case. We got a long way to go. We're covering it all. We'll follow all the details on all our digital platforms and, of course, on air. Sherman, Marcelino?
All right, thanks, Len and Adam. Busy day out there, and it is still underway.